Hello Chelsea fans all around the world. If you are passionate about the Blues and you don't want to miss any breaking news, updates and exclusive stories about our club, make sure you subscribe to my channel Chelsea Breaking. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss a single update about the future of our team, the players and the big decisions happening at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea Board Warns Enzo Maresca, shape up or face the sack. The saga unfolding at Stamford Bridge has now reached a critical stage as reports suggest that Chelsea's wealthy owners and high-ranking board members have privately delivered a stern warning to head coach Enzo Maresca, demanding an immediate turnaround in performances or risk losing his job at the club, despite only recently being appointed. Chelsea, a club with one of the richest histories in modern football and one of the most ambitious project blueprints in Europe, has been under intense scrutiny following inconsistent displays on the pitch, and the feeling inside the boardroom is that the current trajectory is simply unacceptable for a club of such stature. Billionaire co-owners Todd Boehly and Behdad Eghbali, along with other key decision-makers behind the Clearlake Capital Consortium, have reportedly told Maresca in clear terms that Chelsea has reached a level where competing for and winning trophies is the bare minimum expectation, and that constant slip-ups, unnecessary defeats and dropped points will not be tolerated. According to sources close to the club, there is growing frustration that despite the hundreds of millions spent on new signings and assembling a squad filled with world-class talent and promising youngsters, the results on the pitch do not reflect the scale of the investment. Chelsea, in the eyes of its board and global fan base, is supposed to be a team feared across the Premier League and Champions League, not one that regularly stumbles against mid-table or relegation-threatened opposition. The owners have reminded Maresca that the culture of Chelsea, built during the Roman Abramovich era and carried forward with the current ownership group, is about winning at all costs, and that no manager, regardless of his philosophy or long-term project plans, will be allowed to drag the club into mediocrity. What has further complicated the matter for Maresca is the shadow of Chelsea's past successes and the weight of fan expectations. Supporters who became accustomed to silverware every season are growing restless, and with every point dropped, the pressure inside Stamford Bridge grows heavier. Though Maresca came with a reputation as a tactical thinker after his work at Leicester City and his mentorship under Pep Guardiola at Manchester City, the Chelsea job is proving to be a different beast altogether. The board has allegedly made it clear that this is not a place for experiments or learning curves, but a platform where immediate results must be delivered. Chelsea's hierarchy, who consider themselves custodians of one of the biggest sporting brands in the world, are said to be alarmed by the inconsistency of the squad, the lack of clinical finishing in attack, and the defensive lapses that have cost the team crucial points in both the Premier League and Cup competitions. For them, there can be no excuse because the squad depth is enviable. Players like Moises Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, Christopher Nkunku, Cole Palmer, Mark Cucurella, Reece James, Wesley Fofana and Raheem Sterling represent an elite mix of talent that should be competing head-to-head with the likes of Manchester City, Liverpool and Arsenal for domestic dominance. Instead, Chelsea find themselves slipping behind, and Maresca has been singled out as the one responsible for failing to extract the best from the resources at his disposal. In private meetings, the board has reportedly questioned his tactical rigidity, his inability to manage in-game situations, and his over-reliance on possession-based football that often leads to sterile domination without goals. The ownership's message, according to insiders, was unambiguous: stop dropping points or face dismissal. Such strong words reveal the seriousness of the situation and show that Chelsea's leadership is prepared to act swiftly if they feel the club's ambitions are being jeopardised. Historically, Chelsea has never been a club that hesitates when it comes to sacking managers. Even legendary figures such as Jose Mourinho, Carlo Ancelotti and Thomas Tuchel were dismissed when results declined, regardless of their past achievements. The current regime appears determined to maintain that ruthless tradition, especially since they view football success not only as sporting glory, but also as a key component of the club's global business model. Success on the pitch translates directly into sponsorship deals, commercial partnerships, and brand growth, and therefore, mediocrity is seen as a threat to the entire project. The owners believe that Chelsea should be aiming to win the Premier League within the next 2 seasons and consistently challenge for the Champions League, not struggle for top 4 qualification or stumble in domestic cup competitions. That vision puts Maresca under immense pressure, with sources suggesting that if results do not improve in the next run of fixtures, the board will not hesitate to trigger contingency plans, which include sounding out potential replacements. Names such as Roberto De Zerbi, Ruben Amorim, and even former Chelsea manager Jose Mourinho have been loosely mentioned in the football rumour mill as potential successors if the current project collapses. Within the dressing room, there is also an air of uncertainty as players begin to sense the pressure surrounding their manager. And while some remain loyal to Maresca's ideas, others reportedly feel confused by his tactics and the constant changes in selection. This lack of stability could further undermine the coach's authority and accelerate his downfall if not corrected swiftly. Chelsea fans, ever passionate and demanding, have taken to social media to express their frustration, with many calling for accountability and immediate change. For them, the memories of Champions League triumphs, FA Cup victories, and Premier League dominance are still fresh, and anything less than challenging for the top honours feels like failure. The saga has therefore created a high-stakes atmosphere around Stamford Bridge, where every match now feels like a test of Maresca's future. The owner's message is clear. Chelsea is not a club for patience and long-term rebuilding without trophies. It is a club where success is demanded instantly. If Maresca cannot adapt to that brutal reality and quickly deliver a series of victories, he risks becoming just another name on the long list of Chelsea managers who came with promise but departed prematurely. The next few weeks will therefore be decisive, not only for Maresca's career, but for the entire Chelsea project under Bowley and Clearlake. A turnaround in results could secure his job and rebuild confidence, but a continuation of inconsistency will almost certainly lead to his dismissal. Chelsea's hierarchy has drawn the line. Trophies and points are non-negotiable. And for Enzo Maresca, the clock is ticking loudly at Stamford Bridge. Financially, the pressure is equally intense, as Chelsea's owners see trophies not just as sporting milestones, but as engines that drive commercial partnerships, global fan engagement, and overall brand value, meaning that continued underperformance threatens not just pride, but also the business model that underpins the club's future sustainability. Sources have even suggested that sponsors are already uneasy with the lack of consistency, and this has added to the urgency behind the board's message to Maresca. Comparisons have inevitably been drawn with former Chelsea managers, Jose Mourinho, Carlo Ancelotti, Antonio Conte, Thomas Tuchel, all of whom delivered trophies yet were sacked once results dipped, proving that even success does not guarantee long-term survival at the bridge. And in Maresca's case, with no silverware yet to his name, the margin for error is razor thin. Reports also indicate that contingency plans are already being whispered behind closed doors, with possible replacements such